Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey,
I am the Notorious B.I.V. And this is my boy, Paulie G.
how's everybody doing?
Yeah. So first, a couple of housekeeping items. So, first of all, I think we got one of the greatest comments I've ever seen on our Square Hammer video.
Oh, really? I know you said we got a comment, but I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
So, this is from, who is it? This is from Muzzle Paint. This is from Muzzle Paint.
Okay.
And he or she says, I assume it's a he, but it could be a she. They said, damn, Beavis and Butthead got old. Yeah. And
wow.
so shout out to Muzzle Paint. That was a good one. I thought that was pretty funny. It made me laugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got, so we obviously, on our Square Hammer video, we obviously had trouble with the sound and stuff. So I think, and we got a lot of views. But I think the Ghost fans came and they were like, oh, this sucks. and then on our Cerise review, I tried to fix the audio on the Cerise one and it was still pretty crap.
Oh, really?
Really.
Oh.
I mean, it was a little better, but it still sucked. So on our next reaction video, we gotta step up.
I think one of the problems is I have a hard time talking over the video, which is what people do in reaction videos, or they pause it or something. So I was talking quietly because I wanted to hear the video.
I see.
So,
but you know, as you know, Paul, like our group of friends, I remember, didn't we say at one point we were like watching, whenever we watched a movie, right? Like Trent or someone said, like, the best part is just watching Paul's face the whole time, right?
Yeah, when I told my family that we were doing reaction videos, they're like, "Oh, that'll be awesome because they want to see your face." Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So hopefully, Paul's face said it all. Anyway, but I think the Ghost fans came for the first one, and then they were like, "Oh, this sucks," and so we only got 50 views on our next video on Cerise. So
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So we lost the Ghost fans. So maybe we'll try another Ghost reaction at some point, but not right now.
Well, and also if you're like, I think this is the message of the band and the song, and then we're gonna shoot it down.
That's all right. You know, well, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I'm just saying
maybe
you're also probably going to lose the fans that way.
Maybe that was, yeah. I like the song. I like the music. Don't love the message.
Right.
Okay. You know, whatever.
Which I guess, you know, lots of people could do that, right?
Yeah. All right. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. That's what's been going on. So we did our October videos. Now it's November. It's Thanksgiving week. This is our Thanksgiving video. If there is, you know, if we're going to do a Thanksgiving video, this is it.
Okay.
But other than that, so Thanksgiving is an American holiday. And, you know, everybody loves Thanksgiving. It's not controversial in any way. Although there are like the people that are like, oh, I have to like get together with my family now, and you know, there's gonna be tension. I guess it's a trope, right? There's like the trope of like, oh, I go to dinner and then like my grandma says something racist or something, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, I was at my mom's house last night, and they were like making the seating chart because we have like 23 people coming or something, And so it's like, okay, you have to like make sure this person sits over here and this person sits over here, and you know,
So like, yeah, so this person can't sit next to this person, kind of thing.
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's that, I guess. I'm not really. I don't think either one of us is the black sheep of the family, so it's not really like it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, and our families are pretty like chill anyway, right?
Yep.
So I don't know.
Are you getting together with your parents and brothers and sisters, like everybody?
This is our off year, so every other year we go to my parents
So this year you're going to
and my
Stephanie's?
siblings, and this year we're going to Stephanie's parents and well, her mom. Her parents are divorced, so that makes it a little awkward sometimes. Like, so I mean, we go to her mom's because you know her dad's kind of estranged from the kids and definitely from the mom, right? Like they're not going to be in the same place at the same time ever, which you know that's always kind of bugged me a little because I'm like I don't ever want to get divorced or anything, but like if I did, I would want to be like I would want it to be amicable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I just think it's kind of like if you've ever dated a chick at work, right? And it didn't work out.
And now you still have to see each other.
And now you still have to see each other. It's like, okay, just like be adults about it.
Right.
Right? like just okay, you know, whatever. And I get like if maybe one spouse, you know, cheated on the other spouse or something like that, and that was why they got divorced, like, okay, I could see you maybe being
if you don't feel safe around the
upset over
person or
that.
something like that.
Yeah, there's that. If it was an abusive situation, something like that, right? But I'm just,
If it's not, and I mean, I guess the question is why. Like, is it so upsetting for you that it's going to ruin your Thanksgiving to be in the same room with that person, or
right.
is it just kind of like, oh, I've just decided I don't want to be around them, you know?
But if you're so upset that that's going to ruin your Thanksgiving, I just think that's kind of a problem, right? I mean,
Like that's emotional baggage that you need to deal with.
Yeah.
So that you can be in the same room with them, you need to get over it.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially it's like, okay, we share children, you know, and like pull it together for your children at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just be like, well, okay, I'm gonna suck it up for a day or whatever.
Right.
And just like, and the kids can be with their dad and their mom or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you have a big enough place, maybe you're not even at the same table. I know for ours, we're going to have 3 separate tables because there's just not enough room for everyone at one table, you know?
Right. Yeah, we're going to have probably a couple tables too. But I don't know. I've never been divorced, right? So I can't say like, oh, just get over it, right?
Right.
It's not that simple, obviously. But I just, you know, I just tried to, I know in my relationships prior to getting married, like I tried to like just
move on,
be cool and whatever, and not make it a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess everyone has their own circumstances. So you've been divorced, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
but it was really easy because
you guys didn't have kids.
Yeah, we were only married for a few years in college, and then we didn't have kids, and so we were able to both go our separate ways, and it's pretty easy to move on.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, everyone's situation's different, right?
Yep.
So, I don't know. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You know?
Well, but you bring up a good point, though. This is a family time, and so you should, for whatever whatever situation you're in, you should try to do what you can to make it so that the whole family can get together and have a positive experience, instead of you have your own axe to grind, and so then now everybody else has to deal with your issues because you don't know how to deal with them yourself.
Yeah.
That could be divorce, or it could be like, I don't get along with so and so, or whatever, right? And so I think if you have a large family getting together, everybody to a certain extent has to say, okay, I'm going to put this behind me so that we can all have a good positive experience, and I'll just try to ignore so and so, and you know.
Yeah. I guess the thing is like I try to resolve like everything, like all my issue. If I have an issue or whatever, like I try to resolve everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that's important. And I think one of the things that happens sometimes is people don't resolve things, and then it's like, well, now we're all getting together as a family, and now we have this problem. And so if people could resolve things before that, instead of waiting until you're all together and now you have to deal with it,
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, just like personally, like for your own personal well-being.
Yeah.
Like if you have an issue and you're just like, I'm never going to deal with that. Like that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, well, okay, I guess like you can ignore it for the rest of your life and just hope it goes away. But like, that's not
a healthy way of dealing with people and with situations.
Right. And I don't want to be carrying something like that around forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Totally.
But I guess, but I did have an issue for a long time.
With me?
No.
Just kidding.
But we, I had an issue for a long time that I like just dealt with, and it was hard. Like I carried that around for years, and I mean we could go into it right now, but it would probably take like a long time, and I don't want to do that right now.
That's fine.
So we could maybe talk about it another time. But I did have something I carried around, and like, it was an issue between my wife and I, and it wasn't, and we had to live together with the issue, and it wasn't an issue that could just go away,
Right.
And so I carried that around for a long time and dealt with it, and I'd kind of like, and I didn't want it to like it would flare up every now and then when we'd have an argument or something, right? Mm-hmm. Like it would come back up, and I'd be like, like this thing bugs me, whatever. But like, but other than that, I would just try to like, okay, I love my wife, I want to live peacefully with her. Like, I'm just gonna like keep it, whatever. And I mean, in the end, I think, yeah, I think it comes up even now, every now and then. But now, like when it comes up, when I feel it coming up, I'm like, okay, that's not a big deal. Calm down.
Yeah.
And it was really just, it was like something, it was within me. I had to like come to grips with this thing and like come to acceptance, I guess,
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest issue I've ever had, where I've carried something around for a long time. So from that perspective, I can kind of understand people, like not being able to give something up or whatever.
Right. We had a situation where somebody in our family said, this person groped me at this family situation. And so then it was like, I don't want that person to be at a family. I'm not going to be there. If that person's there, I'm not going to be there, you know, because that was so upsetting. I don't want to be in that situation anymore.
So the person that groped said if they're going to be there, I don't know.
No, other way around.
Oh, the person.
The victim, the person who was groped was like, I don't want to. If they're going to be there, I don't want to be there. You know.
Right. Okay.
And so, and then it was kind of like, it was hard because it was like, oh, we love these people, but now I guess they don't get invited to these things because if we invite them, that means these people, you know, this person is not going to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But I understood where they were coming from though. Like, if you don't feel safe, that's kind of like I was saying before. If you don't feel safe around somebody, if you feel like it's you know, if it's so triggering to be around them because they won't even accept, they wouldn't even admit that they did it. They just said, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I can understand that, I guess. I mean, how would you resolve that, right? Like,
if the person's not going to admit that they did anything wrong, then
yeah,
there's not much of a resolution there.
I mean, you can forgive that person. You can come to like forgive that person, but like
that doesn't mean you want to.
It doesn't mean you want
see
to put
them at
yourself
Thanksgiving or whatever
in like harm's way again. Or
right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's bad sometimes when like I've seen rifts where it's like, oh, so and so groped me and I don't want to be around them, and everyone takes the groper's side.
That was kind of another problem. It's like, well, then people are taking sides, you know.
And it's like, and so now it's like that person feels ostracized because like, oh, well, no one believes me. They took the other, you know.
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot.
I tried really hard to be loving and forgiving and accepting of both sides.
Right.
But some people were like, well, the fact that you're not taking this side makes us feel like you don't really care. And I'm like, well, sorry, I do care a lot, but I also feel like everybody deserves forgiveness. And so I'm not going to just blacklist somebody because they did something.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I don't care. Anyway, going back to your situation though with your wife, I think that's also easy for people to say like, oh, here's an issue in my marriage, but maybe if we just don't talk about it, and then you just kind of ignore things that are big deals instead of dealing with them, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you try to bring up something and the other person doesn't want to talk about it, and so then it's like, well, so are we just never going to deal with this issue? Are we never going to talk about it? You know, and then you just have this unresolved issue in your marriage. That's not healthy either. So,
not at all.
Wow, we went deep on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I mean, I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. I hope there aren't too many problems for all of you out there. And if you're not American, you know, Thanksgiving is just like being thankful for what you have. And, you know, here in America, like, we really live like kings.
We do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one, and there are all these idiots that are complaining about how awful it is here and whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? You guys have no idea. They have no idea, like what it's like in the rest of the world. And if you live in the rest of the world, like, be thankful for what you do have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I showed my students a video today. Are you familiar with this? If the world were a village of 100 people, and be like, this many people are female, this many people are male, or whatever. It's basically saying like percentages, right?
Right.
But one person has a college degree. You know,
out of the 50,
out of the 100.
Oh, out of the 100.
So 1% of the world has a college degree.
Oh yeah.
Like 7 people own a personal computer. Okay. Like 20-something% have Wi-Fi. Like there's so many things that we just kind of take for granted that most of the world don't have, you know?
Yeah. Well, the college degree thing's funny because like here in the United States, it's like a college degree is almost like toilet paper these days. Like,
yeah.
Like unless you like a bachelor's degree, It's like everyone has a bachelor's degree.
That's what I tell my students. I'm like, just about every adult I know, I assume has a bachelor's degree because that's just normal.
Yeah, and so it's like if you want to be get anywhere, you got to have a master's degree at this point.
And a lot of people that I work with have master's degrees.
Yeah, and sometimes that's not even like enough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have a ton of fortune. I don't know.
Blessings.
Good fortune, blessings. We have a lot of blessings here in the United States, and I hope that I hope the rest of the world can get those same things.
Yep.
That's all. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Take care.